Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hey, 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 guess who it is? It's me. It's me and it's you. It's so true. We're here together again on Operation Status Quo. Yo, don't you know? Hey, yo. Hey, how's everybody doing out there here today on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, my goodness gracious. The weekends just go by so quickly. I hope you had a wonderful weekend out there. Actually, do the weekends go by quickly? I remember back in the day when I participated in mainstream life, the weekends would go by so quickly. But now, like, the way I live, every day is almost like the same day. So it really doesn't matter. It's just like one continuous, long, drug out. What the hell is going on? Will anything ever change in this crazy freaking world? Are we going to just keep seeing this stuff over and over again? For goodness sake. All right. Let me shut some of this off. That's enough. Let's not get crazy right off the bat. How we doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host. This, of course, is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life, where we learn to flow with the status quo of life. And most importantly of all, we learn to create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And we always start here by saying, what are you doing out there today to create your own flow of quo? Why not drop it in the comments, for a change? Why don't you do me a favor and drop it in the comments and let me know what you're doing out there to create your own flow of quo. I don't mean that in any type of angry way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a man of peace. This is a peaceful, loving environment. It's a space to bring people together and to encourage people to be their best selves, whatever that may mean for them, as long as you're nice. Now, hold on, I got to go one more applause because it's very important. Hold on, my stream deck's a little juiced up today, but one more round of applause for being nice. Be nice. Be nice. Okay. All right. So today is the. Okay. Let me say this first, and then I'll get into what I'm talking about. It's funny because one of my viewers had reached out and was busting my chops and said, "Can you do us a favor, please, on Operation Status Quo, and give us a break with the mask and stop complaining about the mask?" And I said, I'm trying to be a better person. And the funny thing, what I'm about to say right now, plus what I'm about to talk about, they both include the mask in a way. That's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. Although today's topic is not about the mask. But I did that show. I first of all, I agreed with the viewer. I said, you're right. Let's. I don't want to. I'm always trying to send positive messages. We don't want to argue with people. We don't want to cause divisiveness. Whatever an individual feels is best for them in their situation. Whatever the case may be. My feelings on this. My feelings on this. I just feel that it's more out of fear and brainwashing than it is out of any practical purpose, right? So I did the show a couple shows ago where I was talking about one of my people that live in my neighborhood that I saw with the mask on at the grocery store, and then on top of it, I saw that same person again driving in their car by themselves with the mask on and the windows up. Make sure you don't get any oxygen at all. You want to make sure you're as much brain dead as possible on your drive home. But here's the coup de grace, as it were, the trifecta, if you would. Not only did I see this person the one day, it would have been like that, not this Sunday that just passed, not yesterday, but the Sunday prior, I saw them in the store with the mask. And then 2 days later, I saw them driving with the mask. And then just yesterday, for goodness gracious sake, ladies and gentlemen, the same guy is outside washing his car. You guessed it, wearing a damn mask. What the hell is going on? Somebody save me from these people. Hey-o. I just don't understand it, but and the fun why I'm laughing about it is because I go to myself, I'm not going to do this with the mask anymore. I'm going to be nice and calm. It's been so long, COVID, everything else, right? Let's just let it be. You know what I'm saying? And then I go out and see the guy again with the mask on washing his car. I'm like, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I mean, you're standing outside in front of your house washing your car and you got a mask on. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? It's just like, the thing that really gets me too about it is like, I see him. I was outside. So I said, hello, hey, how you doing? And I started talking to him. But he's one of those too that's like, it's not like, people who just put it on a little bit. I mean, like, it's basically covering up his eye. It's pressed to his face, and you can see his lips moving. He's trying to. Can't even understand. You don't know what he's saying. You don't know. You don't know what the frig's going on. That's what I just don't get. Anyway, all right. So I don't want to beat a dead horse with that, as it were. I just found it amusing that as I was thinking to be a kinder, gentler Pete once again, I always have to, I think it's like every second or third episode of Operation Status Quo, I have to remind myself to be a kinder, gentler Pete. It's like, no, you're making judgments, and that's what you talk about here, not to do that, right? So, I got to keep myself in check as well, ladies and gentlemen, but I wanted to be nice, and then I go out and I see that again. It's like, why is the universe screwing with me here, It's like, do I gotta like, start being a jerk to this guy? No, I would never do that, quite honestly. It is what it is. And when I get into my story today, there's a perfect example of what I'm talking about that'll come into fruition as I discuss. But today is the 28th of October in the good year 2024, and today's program is entitled The Weight of the World. Yes, and not the weight as in the weight, like the heaviness, although it is contributing to the heaviness of the world. It's the weight of the world that you're waiting all the time, waiting to get your whatever things you have to get done through the bureaucracy and everything else, through all the processes and procedures that take place for whatever we have to do in our day-to-day lives. So this is speaking on, I had to go to, well, down here in Florida, they don't just say like the DMV, like, when I was up in New Jersey, we go to the DMV, they say the tax collector office here, and that's part of your car registration and license and all. I don't know. This is the tax collector office, It's like, I think the DMV, just for, psychological reasons sounds, more appealing. Like, oh, I'm going, do you want to say like, oh, I'm going to the DMV. Oh, I'm going to the tax collector office. The tax collector, he's coming to get you. What do you owe? What do you owe? Give me. Take. But anyway, so I was finally getting my my Jersey license plates off my car and my Florida plates. So I was excited to do that so I can finally blend in a little bit better here. I have to be honest, during this time, I've been living here just about 3 years now, but my registration was still valid till the end of October. So I didn't want to go through the process until I really had to, because obviously it's going to cost me money, which it did, for the title transfer and things like that. But anyway, and plus I still have property in New Jersey, so the car was registered to that property. So it wasn't like, I was doing anything, really bad, although technically you're supposed to, register your car, much sooner than three years. But I waited it out, and so I was excited to go up there today and do that. This is the second, and first I want to say this, how much more efficient that they are here in Florida than they are in New Jersey. I mean, like, and nice on top of it. They're actually friendly and speak to you, with a little bit of courtesy. They actually get it done. They have a system. It's all as painful as it is to sit and wait and all that type of stuff. It's definitely not as bad as it is if you're up north, But the thing about it is, and why I say the weight of the world, is, while this is the second time I had to go, because, but this is the second time I had to go. So while I'm sitting there waiting for, my number to get called, it's like, and this is the second time. So this was the first time too. I'm just looking around, I'm just looking around at everybody there. And like, I'm just thinking how wasteful this is. Right. And this is what we talk about here on Operation Status Quo, right? We're always talking about, breaking free of the confines of the 3D paradigm in which we live. We're talking about breaking free of the constraints of the system that has been designed, to make life difficult for us, right? So when I sit there and see all these people, like, just sitting there, and they're miserable and they're anxious and nobody wants to be there, right? They're trying to get their crap taken care of with their car or whatever. And, and I just think, like, wow, look at all the resources, the money, the time, everything put into, like, to take money from people, essentially, right? Because you have to be, checked off a box and logged into the system, to be like a legal human being, on Earth. It's like, when you think about it that way, right? It's like, okay, first of all, they want to make a system where, you're checked on everything, whether you have a car, your house, your this, whatever the hell you have, insurances, everything, right? You have to have everything. And then it's up to you to make sure you have everything. It's up to you to make sure you take care. And then you got to go through all the procedures of the system that they create, to make that happen. It's like, oh, like I heard the one guy today, because they're backed up on appointments, because of the hurricanes down here. So, I've heard people come up and they're in line. They're like, oh, we're not doing driver's licenses today. We're not, we're booked up, for the day. And somebody's trying, well, when can I come? I don't know. It just depends. What I mean is somebody took time out of their day. They show up there. They're trying to get this thing squared away. And they're like, now they got to be, turned away. Or like, and again, when I sit there and look at all the people sitting around, I mean, just like all the lost productivity, all the lost time, all the waste, for, just to get like, a decal to say your car's registered. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, the way we do everything, and this is why I talk about bucking the system, and I don't even mean that in an obstinate way. I just mean we don't participate. I think everybody should just take their license plates off their car, throw them in the trash, you know what I mean? Shred your driver's license, and that's it. You're a human being. I exist on Earth, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. And you don't have to, answer to the confines, of all the system. So, and to take it a step further, right? So when I got called, again, to go back to the mask, when I finally got called to, for my time, to do the transaction, I go up to the desk and of course the woman that's serving me, or I don't want to say serving me, but was working with me, right? That sounds a little nicer. She wasn't serving me, although, it is a service industry. But anyway, of course, she had a mask on. I thought, oh my God, what is going on? Why am I being attacked with this mask everywhere I go all of a sudden, Maybe because it's the election coming up and I'm getting itchy, you know what I mean, with all the nonsense that's going on and watching everybody. I shouldn't look at social media sometimes, but, I do. And I, it's so aggravating to see the level of what people are talking about. And again, like I always say, how much they believe in the system and, actually, I don't know. But anyway, but this woman had a mask on, so I had to think, oh God, I hope, the first thing I'm thinking is, oh boy, we got one of these. Like, I hope she's going to be able to help me. It's like she's going to, to me, like I see a person wearing a mask and I think like they're the ones that are like, going to say, oh no, you're missing this, or oh no, this isn't right, because, those are the kind of people that would wear a mask, right? People who are scared and worried and want to follow every last little rule that they can. Otherwise, why would you put one on, But she turned, and I was very kind, although it was difficult to talk to her because first of all, there's the pane of glass in front of us. And then I'm trying to speak to her and, she has the mask on. I can't understand what she's saying because, she's asking me questions. I'm sorry, what? I apologize, but I don't understand a damn thing that you're saying. Can you just take it off so I can read your lips a little bit? Please, can you help me? Hey-o. But anyway, so, but she was very nice and I was nice to her and everything went very well. But, the truth of it all, and in conjunction with this story, kind of another story to go into the weight of the world, because we're always waiting, right? So everything's all this process all the time. Nothing's done with just, common sense and efficiency, right? Everything has to be done within the framework of this system that's created, right? And again, like I say, the systems that are in place are done purposefully to make things difficult because they don't want people to be calm and to be, free thinking, right? They want you, they want your time wasted. They want you stressed out. They want you worried that you're going to be in trouble if you don't do what they say, and all that type of thing. So it's just, and it trickles down to every facet. I mean, just like I said, when I mentioned insurance companies, dealing with that, or, dealing with, your cable company or your cell phone company or whatever, right? It's always some sort of rigmarole. And if there's a problem, you got to call and you got to be a jerk. You can't just be nice. Sometimes you try to be nice and then like they don't do, and then you got to wind up being a jerk a little bit so that they do something. Then you got to feel bad because you had to be a jerk. And I do that all the time. I'm like, I really apologize. It's not you personally. I'm trying to be mad, but this is effing ridiculous, And sometimes, you have to do that. So I'm also working on a project now where I'm having a, screened-in porch, screened-in porch built out on my back patio. And this is interesting to me, because, I have the quote for the job, they're ready to do the job. And I'm just saying, if I was running a business, why would you, like me, if I was running a business and I had a customer, client, whatever, and I'm about to do a job for them, like I would call them, hello, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, whatever, Mr. or Miss non-binary, what they say, Z and they and all the other shit they say. Either way, I would address them properly, how they would like to be addressed. And I would say, this is what's going on. We're going to come tomorrow, go buzz, this, blah. Instead, it's just like, I got to they tell me they're coming, then they come the one day, they brought the wrong shit, so they weren't able to do it. And then, then like I'm saying, okay, well, where are you coming? Oh yeah. And the guy just texts me back. I said, are you coming? Yeah, Monday. He just says Monday. It's not like sorry for this or did you do that? And I said, okay, Monday's no problem. So, but then I don't hear back. It's the weekend. Now it's Sunday afternoon. I'm thinking I hate to bother this guy on a Sunday. It's, I wouldn't want to be bothered on a Sunday, but I got to know if they're coming tomorrow so I'm ready, right? So, I send a text. Are you still coming, tomorrow? Oh, no, we can't get the material delivered there till the afternoon, meaning today during the afternoon, which it's like right now it's Eastern time, 25 of 4, and nothing has come yet. So now I got to text them again and say, are you coming tomorrow? Because they told me they're going to come Tuesday. And what I mean is just like, why am I chasing? Like, what I'm saying? Like, why am I chasing? And on both sides, like, first of all, just the efficiency of business. Like, okay, I don't mean you have to kiss my ass because I'm paying. Like, you're doing the job and I'm paying you for the job. And that's no problem. But from both sides of things, like from your side, why would you not want to confirm things with me and make sure we're all on the same page so you as a business are not wasting your time when you show up here, and then you also are 100% sure of exactly what the project is going to do, how you're going to build the thing, so that like, you don't just show up and do something, then I go, oh no, I didn't want it like this, I wanted it, like that. Like, like there should be some communication. And this ties into everything what I'm saying about the weight of the work, because you're always waiting and you're always trying to work through paperwork and bullshit instead of just doing things that, that make sense. And, and I don't even blame them as the company so much. I mean, yeah, they could do a better job of communication, but other than that, like, I don't have a problem. I understand how the world is, what people are going through, but they have to deal with all the BS that they have to deal with, or God knows who they have to call to have a delivery of whatever they're using, on the job. And who knows what other customers complaining, or, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to say they're just trying to, go through what the system tells them to go through to do the job the right way and make sure everything's legal and, efficient. And well, it's not efficient, but you know what I mean? So, but that's the whole problem with everything in the way our world operates today. It's just that everything is this. It's not just like, okay, here's what has to get done. What's the most practical way to do it? It's like, okay, no, here's what has to get done. And now let's look into all the levels of paperwork and nonsense and, oversight that we have to do to get it done, before we even get into the practicality of the actual completion of the service itself. It's like, when I think about, me just trying to deal with these guys, for a simple job like this. And, again, seeing all those people sitting in the whatchamacallit, in the tax office there, just sitting there wasting half their day, hours and hours. Every time they flash the number up, the ticket number of like who's next, you see everybody like, is it me? A2532. And the next number comes up, W4221. And somebody else yells, bingo, it's me, I did it. I thought, like, how funny if I wasn't worried about getting shot, I'd be like, when my ticket number came up, I would jump up and go, woo, it's my turn. Yeah, it's my turn, you suckers. You still gotta sit here. Hey-o. It's so over the top ridiculous, man. I don't understand it myself at all. But the weight of the world, and listen, I'm going to finish with this because this is what I'm talking about as we move more and more, into these crazy times, especially with the election coming up, and maybe by next week. I can't wait for this in a way because it's like a powder keg, and however it's going to go. Seriously, people, let me just say, because I like to be serious a little bit. Just be mentally prepared for however this goes down. You know what I'm saying? What's happening in the world right now is much bigger than just, Trump versus Harris. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole nother level of change in humanity, a whole nother level of like psychological warfare. I mean, this election is just like such a distraction. It's such like a, everybody's here looking at that, and like there's all this other stuff going on. So, just be mentally prepared for, whatever chaos or what might happen. And remember not to take things seriously. Remember not to give your energy away and your power away to, the system. And that's what I'm talking about, here today. And it's part of it. I think all this stuff of the way we operate our day-to-day day-to-day lives. It has to go away. It's too much waste and bloat to do a bunch of shit that don't mean shit. I used to say that all the time with my government job. You know, when I was working in the office, I go, I don't understand what we're doing. We're just sitting here spending a bunch of time doing a bunch of shit that don't mean shit, and taxpayers are suffering for it. You know, it's like, so anyway, you know, just be mindful. Think about that when you're doing your day-to-day life. You know, when you got to do your paperwork, when you got to do your this, when you got to do your that. You know, think about like, you know, what the hell's really going on here? Why am I have to spend like 3 hours of my day to fight with you know, somebody on the phone because they jacked up my cable bill $20 for no reason, and I got to figure out why. Oh, we're sorry, Mister. We're sorry. Or whatever crap they try to say for, you know, what the reasons are, but there are no reasons. You know. There's no reasons. They just like, you know, they spin the wheel one day and say, you know, how are we going to F with the population a little bit more? It's like, raise the cable bill, you know, and then like, you know, a week later, you know, take channels away from their package, you know. Up the cell phone, cut the minutes, up the charge, get rid of the towers. No, it's insane. It's just insane. Hey-o. Okay. All right. Well, that's what I have for you here today on Operation Status Quo, the weight of the world. We're all waiting. We're all waiting to do a bunch of crap that don't mean anything. So let's shut it all down. Stop waiting. Go do what you want to do. Create your own flow of quo, because that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. We encourage you to go be your best self and not give your life force away to a system designed to kill you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm passionate about that. It's very important to me. And by the way, thanks so much. I'll probably down the line do another show about this, but a lot of positive feedback on my latest release of All I Know. The song came out on Friday, so if you haven't heard it yet, go to one of your favorite music streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your music, and you will find my song, All I Know. That's right. You can also check out my website, PetePalma.com. A lot more good stuff coming up with that, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for your time today. As you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there, individually as well as a group. God bless you. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. And until next time, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.
Boulevard of 10 short blocks.